Did you know there are about 20 million veterans that are living in America today? Many have difficulty adjusting to civilian life, and they need someplace to start. Well, we need to not only help them, but thank them for their sacrifice. And there's a new group on Delmarva that's found a way, and I think you're going to like it. Joining us this afternoon are Kevin Wilcox and Uncle John Connolly of the Sons of Thunder. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Okay, so tell me, what is Sons of Thunder? What do you do?
So back in '09, I got out of the service, and the first thing I did was I got a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got out there on the road, and through the years I've had several bikes. And after I got my motorcycle, a lot of my friends who are here in the community, we started riding together. And it wasn't until recently, about a year ago, that I didn't have a motorcycle. I had an 883, and I sold it because I kind of needed the money. I was going through some tough times.
Broke your heart.
It did, because I love Harley Davidson. I loved riding, so it was kind of tough. And it was through that time that I was going through some trouble dealing with post-traumatic stress. Right. And you know, I didn't realize how much that I loved riding and how much joy that kind of brought to me. So it was through that I kind of thought about the idea of what it would look like to start giving motorcycles to veterans. And so I talked to my friends and thought about, you know, what they thought about the idea, and they were sold out on it. And they said, yeah, let's build some motorcycles for some veterans, because for people who understand it, who are out there riding, you know, it's a way to get outside of your head. Right. And for me, it was a way to deal with post-traumatic stress.
It's a good therapy.
It absolutely.
Well, first, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Well, John, are you a veteran as well?
I am.
Thank you for your service. So how do you guys find the veterans in the first place?
So we open it up for nomination. So we go out to the community and say, hey, you know, do you have somebody in mind who you think would be a good fit for a motorcycle? And we kind of open it up to you know, veterans who are discharged, who have an honorable discharge, who have some sort of disability, because those are the guys who we're trying to reach out to. So whether it's a physical disability or if they have post-traumatic stress, those are the guys that we kind of want to get in there into the shop, working with their hands, and we want to reach those guys.
Yeah. Now you've got a bike that you were working on. We were hoping you were going to be able to bring it today, but it wasn't in a position where you could. So tell me about the bike that you're working on now.
Okay, so the motorcycle that we have right now, it's a 1996 Suzuki Intruder, and we've got that stripped apart right now. We got it in the shop. Our first veteran, Jeremy Burns, who I believe you guys have had on the show before, right? He's our first vet, and so we're stripping apart with him, and we're going over, you know, the customization, what he wants in the bike. Yeah. And we're gonna go into phase 2, which is kind of paint and that kind of thing. So it gets him in there working with his hands, gets him into like that community of riders, and it's a useful skill. It's something that he can take with him. So
right now, you would have brought in a box of parts, and that would have been...
Yeah, that would have been interesting to have a whole bunch of parts.
Just scatter them.
Yeah.
All over the place. So in addition to giving away bikes like this, you also organize local rides for veterans. Is that right, John?
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are great. Unfortunately, I haven't had a bike in a few years. Yeah. Maybe someday again I'll ride with them. But yeah, they organize rides together to local events and things like that. Just great to have the camaraderie. So, you know, they join that with the hands-on learning and working with your hands, getting outside your head by taking a ride, right, and being with friends. You know, sometimes it's hard to be with other people when you come home. So, you know, that's a good way to do it. You're with people, but you're not constantly in each other's face.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So do you set up the bikes to give away, or is it for a particular veteran that you're...
It's going to be per vet.
Okay.
So when somebody's nominated and we figure out, are there physical limitations that need to be dealt with, things Absolutely. Like that, that's what we'll also have to find a local fabricator to work with for accommodations for bikes. Right. You know, if they can't shift, you know, there's things that you have to think
into
about
consideration,
each limb has a job on a regular motorcycle, and
Right.
that doesn't always work. So
Yeah.
I saw him start grinning when you said that. Okay, so fantastic thing you guys are doing. How can we get involved? How can we help? What can we do?
So right now, we're in the process of trying to acquire our 501c3 status.
Yeah.
So we have to become legitimized, and we have to incorporate. So right now we have a GoFundMe that's set up on our Facebook page. So you can actually, there's a link there that we're trying to raise some money.
Okay.
So that way we can become a nonprofit, and we can actually start taking charitable contributions. So that way we can have a budget to do more things and
Right.
build more bikes for veterans with disabilities.
Grow and take care of more vets.
Absolutely.
Again, gentlemen, thank you for your service. Kevin, thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Jenny.
John, thank you for coming in and talking to us
thanks
today.
for having us.
What a deal. You got to love something like this.